Hello and welcome to, oh my god, literally the second I started, I was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. What?
Hi.
Hello.
I got followed home by two cats.
Two cats?
Yeah.
Have you got one?
They're both here.
Can you show me?
Yeah. One's eating food. So
Hello, everybody. Honestly, it's actually, I think it's probably been stressing him out that he's not being able to distract me by calling me in the middle of filming. So,
It's true.
yeah.
They will run away again.
Oh. He's watching Star Wars. Happy May the Force be with you. May the 4th be with you day. Oh no, I said that wrong. But how are you, everybody? Hello, Rosamund. How are you? Hello, Envy. Happy Star Wars Day. Oh my gosh.
I'd like to point out that I was actually waiting outside until I heard you say good morning.
Get out of here. Oh, so annoying. Thank you. Let's keep it knitting. Focus. Away from the lovely man friend with the quarantine hairdo. We've not got to the stage where he's asked me to cut his hair yet, so I think we're all right for now. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Chantal. Hello, Bermuda's. How's Australia doing? It's early, probably. Very late. Either are. Hello. So, welcome to day 1 a.m. Oh my gosh, very early morning. Welcome to the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. My name is Grace. I'm coming to you from a beautifully, gorgeously sunny bank holiday Monday. It's the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day. And it's I'm off today. I was working yesterday. So you can follow me, if you'd like to, you can follow me on Instagram as Vanawillemiel. Actually, I've been thinking about this and talking about it for more than a year, of changing my name on Instagram so it would match everything else. So I might be like Grace the Babbler or something like that. What do you think? Opinions? Good afternoon, Lisa. Yeah, so maybe Grace the Babbler. But everyone knows me as Vanawillemiel. But it's like nobody can pronounce it and it's complicated and no one can spell it either. I just don't know. But then I also, anyway, it's a big thing. I can never decide what to do. How's your week been? I can't believe I'm here like a whole week after I did the last one. Oh my gosh. It's pretty stunning. I've had a pretty rough week. My back went out, which is super duper. So I've got a back, kind of one of those heat wrap things on it. I probably don't have the make, but they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And yeah, I had a really good physio session, Zoom session. So she couldn't actually do any hands-on work, which was sad. But she showed me some exercises to do when I was working and stuff. So it's not a pleasant time to have your body decide, no, I'm not going to help you out, because we're so short-staffed, and if I was to go off now, that would real suck. It would really suck. So yes, I'm working away. I am a radiographer in a hospital and it is really busy, as you can tell with the whole COVID-19 crisis. But we're here today to get a little bit of escapism from it, and I'm going to talk to you about all the things I've been making, all the things I've been thinking about making, how my creative week has gone. So first off, I'm going to talk about my lovely cardigan, which someone mentioned earlier. This is a cardigan I finished really recently. You saw me on the Creep Dive! Oh my god, that was the best show ever. That was so funny. Except I was technically at work. But there was nothing to do, so it's fine. I love it. So this is the Timely Cardigan by Truly Myrtle, who is Libby Johnson. And it is absolutely adorable. I made it, it's all naturally dyed yarns. It's all fingering weight, which took me a while. I started knitting it at the start of Advent because it's actually an Advent calendar. So all the colours are from Flourish Fibres. Actually, her yarn is gorgeous, but this is some of her yarn she sent me with the Advent calendar 2 years ago, and it's absolutely gorgeous stuff. This is a really beautiful, this is Gotland grey, 100% Gotland, not non-superwash, DK weight. But this stuff here was a fingering weight. I can't remember, I think it was 75-25, which is 75% merino and 25% nylon, but I'm not actually 100% on that. But it was her Advent calendar last year, so I got 24 little minis, all naturally dyed in rainbow. And it's so pretty. And I matched it. Matching sleeves, matching body. And I also steeked it, which meant that I knit the whole thing in the round and then I cut it up the front. Now, one issue, which was pointed out to me in a comment, that said, well, I spent a whole big deal and time about sewing back in all the ends after I cut. I kind of changed the colour at this point. So I made a big deal about weaving in all the ends. But now, of course, they're popping out just there. That'll go away eventually. So there's one just popped out there and it kind of keeps happening. But sure, I was steeking it. I didn't need to weave in all the ends. So if you are doing any colour changes on the steek, don't weave in the ends. It's pointless. It's fine. You don't need to. You're cutting it anyway. It's fine. For future reference for Grace and any other people who would like to knit a cardigan with all these coloured stripes and switching in the middle. Don't do what I did. So, and underneath I'm wearing the my red Slow Wardrobe tabard, and it is beautiful. And I've got something in my pockets. There's always something in these pockets. Makes me happy. And this is just, it's lovely. It's linen. It's kind of got this black weft. Now this was a gift from the Slow Wardrobe, but a gift I was so happy to receive because I love them. So it's a black weft, or yeah, like straight across is black and straight down is red. So it's got this deep dimensional kind of shimmer, which I'm loving, and you can kind of see it quite up close. Is really nice. But I wear it all the time. It's so easy. It's so, I don't know, it's 100% natural kind of linen, which just feels so great when you're head to toe in plastic when you're in work all the time, because you're in that PPE all the time and it just feels smothered, and I just feel like I'm constantly broiling like a turkey in one of those boil a bag turkey bags. Yeah, so it's really nice to have something breathable and comfortable and with pockets, because when you're all trussed up in the PPE as well, no pockets, of course not. So there's pockets in your scrubs under your 3 layers of PPE, but you can't get to them, so what's the point? Yeah, so I'm loving living in these. So that's what I'm wearing today. It's May. Holy moly. I'm not doing Me Made May because I haven't made enough things. But I suppose technically I've made this thing. And I'm really looking at all the clothes and I'm like, have I gone to clothes yet? Am I making clothes yet? Like, is that a thing that I'm trying to do? And I think I am. I've made a couple of like woven pieces. But like, buying fabric and making clothes out of the fabric is kind of like, ooh, scary. A bit exciting, but a bit scary. So I haven't been doing much quilting or sitting at the sewing machine this week because my back has been sore. And I find that quite sore, kind of sitting in one place and kind of leaning over a little bit and doing that. So I haven't been doing that, but that's okay. Because I have been doing a little bit of knitting and a little bit of thinking and a little bit of organizing. So, right, I have received a couple of really pretty things as well that I would like to talk about. And there's a fly. The fly needs to go outside, I think. Get out. Go on, get out. Oh no, not that way. Oh, this is very entertaining for that fly and for you. So let me just see what we're talking about in the chat for the moment. And everyone's just introducing themselves, where they're from. And oh, Louisanne's got snacks. I like it. Louisanne was saying about the cardigan. That's really nice. And you just finished your weaving. Oh my God, yes. The Game of Widows has started weaving. It's her second piece of weaving and it looks amazing. Is that right? Maybe I'm confusing you with someone else. Oh, I hope not. But yes. You were watching last week's episode and you get to see me now. Yes, Bernadine. Yeah, people refer to you as Babbles on their podcast. Yeah, I might as well stick with it, Lisa, you know. If I change the name, is it a whole new IG account? No, it's just, I would just change the name. The IG account stays the same and everyone keeps following, but they might get a bit confused if the name changes and they're like, I don't remember following that. You're in England and they moved your bank holiday to Friday. Oh yeah. But I suppose it's something like Victory in Europe Day or whatever. So the buzzing okay. Yes. So sorry, now this is going to be very boring for people looking back. Will beans and toast make an appearance today? It entirely depends on their mood. Hi Grace, what preference, button up or top down? What? Yeah, I just decided to button the top half today, but normally I like to button in the middle. But I don't know, I like this neckline. It's kind of low enough that I don't mind it starting out. So normally I would leave the top bit open and button the middle. And sometimes if you button the bottom, it makes you look a little bit slim and then boob heavy. So it depends on what you're trying to enhance. So I'll chase it up. I don't know. Maybe because I know you can see the top half, but you can't see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So right, what have I been making? So we'll start with the knitting, and then we'll move on to some spinning. I literally only started spinning again today, and I've made some interesting discoveries. If you've looked at my last Instagram post that just went up about an hour ago, you might know what I'm talking about. I'm a little bit enraged. Oh, knitting bottom up or top down. I am the biggest fan ever of knitting top down. I vote for top down because you can try it on as you go. Bottom up, who knows? It's a mystery. Because I don't follow patterns very well. So if I have to like knit until it's 17 inches long, I'll just keep knitting, and then it'll be either 13 inches and I'll get bored, or I'll, overshoot. So please tell Beans that his chocolate auntie in Virginia is online. Beans! Shirley's here! He's outside, Shirley. I'm sorry. I will send a direct picture to you. Oh, that's one thing I do have to talk about. I don't have Beans actually here, but I do have the most beautiful representation. So my friend Marion from Marion Prince had this offer going for healthcare workers. She offered portraits, a portrait of two people, or any two people, for, she'd like to do a portrait to say thank you. And I was like, I'd like to enter, and then I won. So I was gonna do me and James, and then I was like, but the kittens. And she was like, yes, the kittens. She literally had it done in about 3 hours. I couldn't believe it. And now I can't open it. Oh no. Oh no. So she sent me on, it's a digital painting. So she sent it on to me with a PDF, like a PDF, so I could print it out any size I wanted. But she also printed it off herself. And then she put gold leaf on it. Oh my gosh. You might have seen this already, but it's just the most beautiful. There's Mr. Beans. He's looking sassy and cross as usual. And there's little Miss Toast and her little amber eyes. And of course, it's Beans on toast. the only way it should be. But if you look really close, you'll buy a print of that. Oh my gosh. Look at the gold. Oh, it's so pretty. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? I'll talk to Marianne if you want, Shirley. And, sorry. Yeah, Marion. This is Marion Sheehan. And she, oh, look at her beautiful. She does these beautiful animal portraits. This is her card there, if you can see. I don't know if it'll focus on me or what. No. Marion Sheehan. Her Instagram is Marion Prince. And she also, actually, did the swallow painting just there as well. I love her. She does beautiful watercolors and digital paintings. But if you want one of these, I'll definitely chat to Marion and maybe pop in a little order, and she could, yeah, Shirley, definitely send me a DM, and I'll talk to Marion about it, because it's so beautiful. I love it. Look how perfect Toast is, and look how perfectly like sassy Beans is, you know? He's just like, what? Do you love me? Because you should. Oh, he's so beautiful. Anyway, so I'd really recommend her for any pet portraits. Yes, do. And she has, I've ordered some other prints as well. So like these are some of her prints. These are just her business cards. These are some of her prints, like nature inspired, but also she does like kind of steampunky stuff. And oh, I just got this lovely little, and oh, there's a message under this back to Grace. I hope this makes you smile. And it does, Marion. It's beautiful. She's just stunning. Just a stunning, 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 stunning artist. And I'm so happy. I can't wait to get I know, Beans on Toast. Yes, please DM me, Shirley. So I love that. I love it. I love it. So I'll definitely get Marianne to send you on a print if you would like one, because they're, you know, they're repeatable. So that's really sweet. So time for you to go to sleep. I'll see you when you catch up again. Right, so what I've been knitting. I have been making only one real thing, and I've just made a tiny little bit of progress on it. This is, I'll just knit around actually to make it easier to show, but this is a pair of socks that I started knitting and caused me pain in my wrist. So I stopped knitting them. But now they are my kind of COVID project. I normally keep it in my work bag, and they're going to be washed thoroughly when I, oh, except I'm knitting on them now. Anyway, I'll wash my hands after this. I'm washing my hands constantly. I'm doing my best. So this is my my sock project. So this is being knit out of the gorgeous self-striping yarn by Dragon Hill Studios, and it's the Sherborne sock 4-ply in the Jadient. Dragon Hill Studio in the Jadient. Where is it? Jadient is there. Beautiful. So this is the stunning ball of yarn, and it comes out this beautiful gradient. Oh, I missed a stitch there. Oh well. So I talked about it a little bit on a few podcasts ago, but I was just finishing off, and I realized I didn't have any of my darning needles with me. So I literally just, I knit down to where I would normally do a Kitchener stitch, right? And then I just knit 3 rows straight up, like just 3 rows. I didn't do any increases, any decreases, just because when I'm going to actually cut that, do you know when you're putting in an afterthought heel, you cut across, you cut one stitch and you just undo, so you separate out the tubes. So that's what I'm going to do. Because I've knit 3 rows, I'll have enough yarn to do Kitchener stitches on both toes because I'm going to cut one stitch and then just undo it and separate them both, and then I'll have enough just to do a Kitchener stitch to do off the toes. Literally all because I just didn't have a darning needle. Ah, yes. Necessity is the mother of invention. So what I'm doing then is basically I'm just doing one sock connected to the other, all in one go. So it's kind of nice. All I have to do then to check is just fold it over and see. So it's hopefully going to work out. The gradient is kind of going in the opposite direction, but I don't really mind about that. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Have you ever done so many things at once you get confused what you're doing all the time? Can you hear the cat purring? No, that might be the lawnmower outside. I don't know. I have no idea, but at least it's kind of nice. I like to see you try those on before you separate them. I will, and everything, because I could just do like this. I think. Did you hear a meow or a purr? Because there was definitely a lawnmower going about 3 houses over, and the door and the window is open because it's so beautiful outside. I was going to film this outside, but I'd moved everything in here, and I'm not asking James to. I don't really like my small circulars, Suzanne. Suzanne's just asked if I like them. I don't like them because the last time I used them, I got tendonitis in my wrist, and it's still a bit sensitive, so I'm only knitting a small bit on these. Now I'm also blaming work for them, so yeah, so it could be work, but it could be these needles as well. And the reason I'm still using them is because the tension is different when I knit with, because I normally knit with circular needles. I do magic loop, but I did magic loop when I was getting down really small, and you can see how much tighter. Can you see how tight the stitches are in there as opposed to out here? Like, I can really see this. So I switched about here. So this gauge down here is so much looser than this gauge in here. And that's all to do with the fact that I'm using the different needles. So when you are knitting with the small circulars, you're pulling it a little bit farther away, and then you're moving your stuff around, you're moving everything around, but you kind of tend to leave it a little bit longer, and you don't pull it as tightly. I find I don't anyway. I would need to actually get smaller circumference needles. So these are 2.5s. I knit all my socks on 2.5 millimeter needles. But on these ones, I would say I would need to go down to a 2 to get the same density as I get, the same gauge as I get with the magic loop needles. It might be your cat snoring. Is he that loud? Nessa. It's reverberating around the entire British archipelago. So you only like small circulars for colorwork socks. Okay, all right. I'd say if I did like DK weight or slightly bigger socks, these 9-inch needles would be nice. But because this is a 60 stitch sock that I just cast on myself. I'm not doing any particular pattern. I cast on 60 stitches, and then I went with that. So maybe if it was like a 64 stitch, or maybe even like a 72-inch, maybe if I was knitting James some socks, like 72 stitch sock, 72-inch sock, it's a big sock, 72 stitch sock, and like with sport weight yarn, these might be a little bit less painful. It's probably a stupid question, but do you cut the socks apart like steeking? So I do cut, but I don't cut like all the way across. I just cut one stitch, and then I can literally just pick out the row like I'm unknitting it. So I'm literally just gonna cut out the center stitch or whatever, wherever it is. Probably, do I have an, oh, I have a needle right here. So I'm probably going to cut out this stitch in the middle. I'll cut that, and then I just have to unravel that row, and it won't. Sorry for touching my face now, but I have clean hands and I haven't gone anywhere today. So once you cut one leg of the stitch, then you can undo it, and it will like unravel like as if you're unraveling the bottom of a jumper. But then I'm going to unravel to a certain, probably what I normally do for this is I normally pick up all the stitches on the top with one needle, and then pick up all the stitches on the bottom. I'll just go one row top and bottom there, so I'll just have one row in between. It's a bit small now to show you, but so I'll pick up all the stitches on the top, pick up all the stitches below. So I'll choose like 3 rows in the center there, and I'll cut this center stitch and I'll undo it so the needles are all kept on the stitches. I'll probably need 2 sets for each sock, like so. And then I'll be able to Kitchener the toes together. I will definitely film it because it sounds really complicated, but it's not, she says, because I haven't technically done it before. But it can't be that hard, because I did it before, cutting socks apart to put heels in. You know, I just took out like 30 stitches across. So normally what you would do is you'd keep knitting in a row, and instead of doing a heel there, you would literally just have one stitch. So you'd cut that one stitch in the middle, undo that, put the needles on, and then knit the heel, and then Kitchener stitch the bottom part. Except I just did a fish lips kiss. I did a garter fish lips kiss heel with a little mini gusset. So does that make sense? You think it would be easier than even doing the heel? Exactly. There's I think it's going to be super easy and super quick. I'll definitely film it and I'll show you what it's like. But doesn't knitting only unravel in one direction? Yeah, exactly. I'm only going to be unraveling across. Knitting only unravels around the base. If I was to cut it down the front like that, it wouldn't unravel out that way. But because I'm just unraveling like one row just to separate them out, it'll be fine. So, but like, so with steeking, what you're doing is you're not cutting across this way, you're cutting up the front. So you're literally getting a scissors and just going chip, 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 chip. And it's live on my YouTube channel if you want to go back and see, but it doesn't unravel. It just folds back on itself because it's nowhere to go. I am cutting one stitch in the center and then literally picking it out deliberately. If I was to just cut one stitch and pull, it would still stay together because I've cut up the middle, but I'm going to be unraveling it because I want to use that yarn again. I don't want to just slice through all the stitches because it's such a waste of yarn. I want to cut one of the stitches, unravel that one row all the way around, and then use the yarn on either side of that to do the Kitchener stitch. I don't know if that's making any sense. Let me know if that's making any sense. Because I want it to keep the same color. You know, I don't want to change color because of the gradient. I mean, I'm sure I could find a color. I'm not going to use all the yarn in this ball to do the socks, but yeah. So that's my Jadian socks by Dragon Hill Studio, and my little weird hourglass socks. So another little knitting thing, or crochet thing that I've been doing is I've actually been making these things they called ear savers, and they showed up inside in work. My friend has a friend who was making them, and she brought in a few just to see how they would be and how they worked. And I was like, I can totally make those. And so I went on a little fact-finding mission, and I got a scrap of yarn from one of the sweaters that I made a while ago. This is 100% wool. It's probably not ideal because you do need to wash them, but I think I'm going to felt them. So what they are basically is they're ear savers. So they're strips of knitting or crochet with buttons on either end. And what happens is, and I made a couple of different selections. So that's a crochet one. So that was chain 20, double crochet around once, and then single crochet around that once, and then I do maybe 3 double crochets into that end stitch, and then on the way around again 3 or 2 into each of those 3. So 3 stitches turned into 6. around the corners just to round it out. And then I did this one, which is a little bit different. It was 20 chain stitches, and then I just did single crochet all the way around, which kind of looks really neat. Anyway, it really doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters what it does. I also did just a garter stitch, but my cast on was really tight, but it doesn't matter. And I did a garter, kind of horizontal garter, which is kind of what what I started knitting was these, but headbands, so all the way around. So these are for when you're wearing a mask and you have a mask which has ear loops, like elastic ear loops inside in work. Sometimes the fit isn't great. Sometimes they're too loose on your face. Sometimes they're actually too tight around your ears and they start cutting into your ears because you're wearing them for, 6, 8, 12 hours a day. Now, infection control will have an absolute baby about these bad boys, but I'd like my ears to stay functioning, and I'd like to be able to wear my PPE without immense pain. So I'm just gonna wash my hands and wash them afterwards. Also, the back of your head, it's known to be like a clean area if you're dealing with COVID positive patients. You're dealing with face forward, you're facing them the whole time. You're going to be doing stuff with them with your front. So your front is the most contaminated area. The back of your head, your hair, like, and all that jazz. We're not supposed to be wearing like hair nets and things when dealing with them because I'm only casual contact. I don't deal with them like 24 hours a day. They come in and they come out, so we don't have to wear hair nets. So if we don't have to wear hair nets, that means our hair is fine as long as it's up. So if this is behind, then what are you gonna do? Anyway, the purpose of them, and I think I like these ones the best because they're very flexible. So they're adjustable. If I give them to someone else, then their head is a little bit smaller than my head. So what happens is you get do I have a mask? I don't think I do have a mask actually. They're kind of like gold dust. But you get you pop your little ear saver over your hair. If you can you see that? You pop your ear saver over your hair, and then you get the loop of your mask that's around your ear and just loop it around that little button, and the same on the other side, and it stretches out, and that means that the mask is no longer cutting into the back of your ears. What it does instead is it cuts across the front of your nose. But anyway, so I made a couple of different ones. I made another one of these and another one of these. And what I might do actually is felt them all together so they're easy to wash. So I might throw them into the washing machine before I put buttons on them. So I put buttons on 2 of them just to use yesterday, and it was really, really handy. I am finding the nose very sore, but sure look. And I also got an amazing delivery of them for Inside and Work from my gorgeous friend Camilla, who is Kama Crochet. She made up 20 for me in like the space of a day. Thank you so much, Camilla. Let's not tell infection control. But yeah, if you do know a nurse or a doctor or a radiographer or any healthcare professional who is wearing masks inside in the hospital, you might ask if they might be useful to them. And if you're interested, you could probably make some for your local hospital or nursing home or GP practice, or the frontline workers who are wearing masks. Or if you are in a place where wearing masks outside is mandatory, like New York, or a few other places. I think Singapore might be mandatory now, can't remember, but they might be useful for you as well. So that's what I was doing. And actually these ones have been the best little kind of palette cleanser-y type projects because I was flat on my back for a few days, so I couldn't really do anything complicated. So yes. So yesterday I was working all day. Today I woke up and I was like, today I'm going to spin. So I did. I finished off a bobbin. I finished off this bobbin, very finely spun merino, 100% merino, and I bought this from a friend of mine who is that really bright? I think I'm actually gonna have to put that down a bit. I feel like that's so much better. Sorry, it was just shining on me. So this is a really pretty, really pretty brown. Actually, I say really pretty. I've now spun 3 of these. I'm kind of done with brown, but there's a reason. I thought that I had spun enough. I thought I was actually on my 4th one, or I thought that one of them was going to be so much on there that I could 3-ply. I'm wrong. I just weighed them. So each of these small ones are 50 grams, the bobbins themselves. So when you weigh them, you can delete 50 grams. You can take 50 grams off them, and you'll see how much you've spun. Now my weight, I have quite a fine spin on this one and a little bit of a thicker spin on this one. So I think it'll all work out. I'm not really too fun about it. Oh, you got your e-spinner. I think I'm gonna have to switch to my e-spinner because spinning the wheels with the pedals is a little bit tricky on my back. So this episode is the one where Grace bitches about her back the whole time. So yeah, and I thought I had this one. I thought that was way fuller than it actually is. It's not that full. So I'm sad. So I have to spin a whole other bobbin. Oh, I'm kind of done with these colors. So why am I doing these? I am doing these because, in case you didn't know, I have a project which is waiting for yarn for sleeves. This is a project which is all hand spun and then helically knit all the way down. I can't even remember what pattern this is. Oh, it's the so faded. That's the numbers I used at the start anyway. And I got to the point where I was like, yay, I've used up all my yarn. Oh no, I've got to do my sleeves. So, oops, I had to spin up sleeve yarn to match, kind of, sort of. So hopefully it's going to be light yellow and then go down into the browns and then go down into the blacks. And I do have a lot of purple left over, so I think I'm going to start helical knit like towards the end of the sleeves with this purple, and that's going to blend in with the browns and the blacks, hopefully. Anyway, so I think I'm probably going to get to about there with these. Haven't measured, I'm kind of guesstimating. And yeah, so they're going to be these sleeves. Sleeves. So yeah. Oh no, yeah. I had an MRI on Friday and I've got 2 little disc bulges. They're small still, so my aim is to keep them small. To be honest, I could have had those disc bulges and back pain could be from somewhere else, or I could have back pain and not have the disc bulges. So I'm not going to blame the disc bulges, but they're like a nice obvious thing to be like, I've got a herniated disc, I must be in so much pain. But I'm going to be like, hey brain, you need to back off. Okay. I know it's hopeless, but it's just sad. I'm 32 and I've got herniated discs. That's sad. I don't want it. So I'm just going to say no. Do my exercises and say it's muscle spasm instead. Actually, judging from my physio, she says it is more muscle rather than nerve. So I'm delighted about that. So yes. So I gotta spin another bobbin of browns. But I decided, no. I'm bored of brown. Life's short. So I got this whole bag of Malabrigo at Barcelona Knit Festival, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back to this the next year. So I got loads of these small little ballets and I basically cleared them out. I actually took everything because they were selling each one of these for €1. And I was like, I want all of them, you fools. So I got all of them. And yeah, so I weighed them out and I've got approximately 90 grams or 80 grams in this bunch. And I've got 2 nube in these colors, too pretty. And I've got 100 grams in these beautiful blues and greens. So my plan is at the moment to do 2 pairs of socks. One's in blues and one's in these reds and stuff. So I've never spun for socks before, so I'm a little bit nervous about them. I kind of want to make another sweater because I feel like that's 90 grams. This is 100 grams, the blues. They're 100 grams. And then these are both 100 grams each. So I have enough to make a sweater. But I'd love to try socks as well. I just don't know. I have loads of sweaters on the go. And I'm like, am I sweatered out at this point? There will always be more yarn. But that's just so pretty, and I just don't know when I'm going to get to go back to Barcelona. Like, sad. Yes. That's what I need to do, Bex. School of Sweet Georgia have a Rachel Smith who is actually she's an ICU intensive care nurse. So she's obviously very busy, but she has a class on School of Sweet Georgia on spinning for socks. That sounds good. I might do it. Feck it. I'm actually spinning so fine now at the moment that it kind of makes sense to do it. I literally just started. Have a look-see. This is where I am right now. So I'm basically just pulling like these random, I'm pulling at random. I'm closing my eyes and just pulling. And if it's too similar, if I'm pulling 2 oranges, I'll swap out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm starting off with this orange, which I pulled out, and then I might do something like that, and then this, and I'm just gonna like go with it. And then I might 3-ply it, like so. That'll keep all the colors together. So I'll get like a self-striping, or I might 2-ply it. I'll see what my average single looks like and see, because at the moment my average single, I've got this little piece of kit here, which is a really cute gauge, and it's from Burning Impressions 2, the shop. She's Canadian. Burning Impressions is her shop. And so at the moment my gauge before washing or anything like that is, actually I should take it from here. Heat. So it is, sometimes way less than lace weight, and sometimes it is more of a lace weight. So if I do a 3-ply, then it would be either a sport or a fingering. I think it would vary between sport and fingering if I did 3-ply at the moment, because when you add 3 lace weights, it should be a sport. It's probably going to be more of a DK though, because when you have 3-ply, you're including the air as well when you ply it in. So it's a little bit, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a fun little, and it's just so much colors, and they're so floofy. Look at them as well. They like bounce. Wow, you can really bounce. Anyone else obsessed with TikTok? Hi. I haven't done any. I just like watching them. They're making me happy. Yeah, so those are the bits that I am working on at the moment. Not very much, but that's okay. You're going to hire a private plane. Cool. Yes. Oh. You just downloaded, Bex just downloaded a spinner's control card just on your phone. Oh my God, that sounds great. I got my yarn measure thing from Etsy. Etsy.com CA shop Burning Impressions 2. So if you look up Burning Impressions on Instagram, you should find her. She's really good. She does like small narrow ones as well, which was really nice. I don't know if I have it here actually. I think I have it on my keyring. No, I have it, or I had it on my keyring and then it fell off actually, through my own fault, not their fault. But yeah, they're really handy. those little control cards. It's called a spinner's control card if you want to have a look on Etsy for it as well. And there's loads of different people that are selling them. But I really like this one as well. So, what is my next plan? I want to talk to you about something very exciting. Can I remember all the details? No. Can I tell you where to find them? Yes. So, it is Chantal says she got her control card from a needle runs through it. The owner is super nice. Lovely. I think there's a lot of places that you can get them, but there's 2 places, Burning Impressions and a needle runs through it. So there is going to be a very fun quiz happening on Thursday. I've just realized something. I think I might have. Anyway, it's going to happen on Thursday. Yes, it is happening on Thursday. I'm sorry, I have to go. So it's basically a quiz. It's going to be a quiz called the Fastest Fingers First quiz. And if you head over to Woolen Yarn Festival, so the Woolen Yarn Festival unfortunately had to be postponed until 2021 because of the COVID crisis, but they are running a couple of really, really fun events online, and this is a really, really fun one. So it's going to be held on Instagram Live, and they're going to ask people to come on and ask quiz questions. So I have to think of my quiz questions, but there's some bits that we are giving away. I'm giving away two skeins of my yarn. 2 skeins of my yarn. This one is Bright Eyes, or Lark, and this one is Sea Glass, or Sky Glass. And these are my precious hand-dyed yarn. I don't really do much hand dyeing anymore, so I have some of these lying around, but they're not available anywhere else. So if you would like to be in with the chance to win one of these, you definitely have to tune in to Instagram Live on the Woolen account for these. I'm also going to be sending over some beautiful silk cocoon cakes with them, with its own little spindle as well. So that will be really, really fun. So how it's going to work is we're going to ask a question and over on Instagram Live, and then basically the answers are going to be emailed in to a special email account, and that's going to be monitored, and we're going to be announcing the prizes live on air. Hopefully that's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's hopefully going to work. So that's good. And all of the money raised, so it is €5 for a ticket, and you can buy them online over at the Woolen account. I will put the details down below once I'm ready. Get the postage ready. Come home to mama. You gotta be fast, Shirley. You gotta be fast. So that is all going to be going on over in the Woolen account. You can buy a ticket and you can be in to win it that way, I believe. Now, she has updated rules on her Instagram account, which I have not watched yet, which is a bad thing for me to be talking about it now. But it's going to be so much fun. There are, we've got a number of Irish yarn dyers participating. We've also got, so one of them is Baron Sheep's Clothing. She is going to be giving away 2 of her beautiful yarns, and also Marlisle, the book. Ullen, Jess from Ullen Ullen.ie, or Olin, depending on which county you're in, is going to be giving away some of her yarn as well. Carol Feller is going to be giving away some of her Nua yarn in her, I think it's her new worsted base, and she's also going to be giving away Cozy Knits, the book by Willie Wormhead. And then who else is going to be taking part? Obviously Woolen is going to be giving away some beautiful prizes as well. I think they're giving away some what's it called? Studio Donegal, soft Studio Donegal. Townhouse Yarns is also going to be giving away a 3 skein collection, which is going to be really nice. I'm forgetting people now, but it's going to be big. It's going to be really fun. And I think, so all the money that we're going to raise from this, so it's €5 a ticket to enter. All the money we're going to raise is going to go to Women's Aid Ireland. I'm working in A&E in the hospitals, and we are seeing a huge rise in domestic abuse in Ireland, and it's happening all over the world. When people are stuck at home and they can't escape from an abusive situation, it's really, really, really hard. So this was something that is really close to my heart. Women's Aid is a charity that helps women, supports women who are facing domestic abuse. Now, I understand, yes, that men do also experience domestic abuse, but women are a higher percentage. So Women's Aid is a wonderful charity that does help out these people that are in dire straits, and especially around this time. So it is a charity that's really close to my heart. I'm really glad to be able to take part and help out, and be able to donate something. How do you buy a ticket? You head over to the Woolen account. So I'll also put a link at the bottom of here. But if you go onto Instagram, you can find them. You can find the details and the Woolen account on Instagram. I think you can also buy the ticket on their website as well, woolen.com. And if you look up fastest finger first, it should be somewhere in there. I should know this more. I should know more of it. I should have the details already written out. But your girl is not that organized. I'm gonna blame COVID on that, but let's be honest. If you're following me a long time, you know I'm not organized. COVID or no COVID. So yeah, that'll be Thursday. I'll probably be on early because I'm on the night shift. So that's great. Yes, so that's going to be quite a busy day. I think it's going to be around 9 p.m. So I'm going to have to do something about that. Yes. I may be incognito. I may actually might not be able to be there. No. They've just added another rota. And I've got 4 more shifts on top of my other shifts that I've also got extra in the last 3 weeks. So it's all great. So yeah. Anne Frost is hosting Online International Fibre Festival today in Ireland. Is she? Oh, and today is Ireland. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So Anne Frost, where's she hosting that? That sounds really good. So I do want to send out a little bit of goodness into this world. I've had a pretty crappy week, and I would like to just balance it out by just doing something nice for somebody. So what I would like you to do is, I've got 2 prizes. Tell me which one you would like, if you are a spinner or if you are a knitter or a weaver, I guess. So I've got 2 prizes. One is this beautiful gradient. It is Bear and Sheep's clothing in the Bear Cozy base, which is 100% fine Falkland merino. And this is King Titan's Fury. It's a speckle gradient. The amount of work that goes into one of these. So, you know, it starts white speckle and then fades into this deep, beautiful teal. And it's a lovely zero. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yes, Chantal. So this is non-superwash base, and it also comes with some beautiful stitch markers, which are so cute. So this one then is a stunning naturally dyed, botanically dyed Rolex, Corriedale merino, bamboo and mulberry silk. It's 50 grams of these beautiful Rolegs, and these are from Deborah Makes Crafts on Instagram. She also makes bags. It's all naturally dyed, beautiful. It's stunning. So these are some beautiful like mauve, really nice. I think it's like madder dyed and then mixed in at the Rolex are so beautiful. They're in my stash and they're just not being used, and they just deserve to be used. So I would like you, underneath this post, I would like you, I think you're going to have to probably come back and comment instead of like in the chat. At the moment you're chatting away, but I think I'd like you to come, because then I can organize properly. So I'd like you to, in underneath this video, I want you to tell me 3 things that you're really happy about this week. Some like 3 things that you're really grateful for. Let's put out a little bit of gratefulness, because I need it, because sometimes it's just so hard, isn't it? So even the small things sometimes, I know it's really kind of like positivity, and sometimes I'm just not into it, but I think I just need to hear nice things, because otherwise my brain will fall out of my head in a rage fit. So tell me which one you would like, and then tell me 3 things that have happened to you this week that you're really grateful for. And I will announce the winner next podcast, the winners. So there's going to be 2 winners. One of these beautiful Bear and Sheep's Clothing. Definitely go and follow them, by the way. Bear and Sheep's Clothing on Instagram. And then Deborah Makes Crafts as well. Follow them. They're beautiful people. They're so beautiful. I love them. I love them both. And unfortunately, both of these makers were like, I wasn't able to host my retreats with the Makers Craft Market. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to, support them and sell their product. So I know that my little marketplace isn't very, isn't really huge. They don't make a lot of money because it's such a small little cozy place, but it is such a fun event. And I was upset that I wasn't able to kind of promote their gorgeous work. So this is a small little thing that I can do, because I always buy too many things when I'm hosting my craft fairs. So yes, all right, I'm going to leave that with ye, and I'm going to sign off. And we've got a lot of Star Wars to watch, because we've only got through the first series, and that was with skipping all the boring Anakin bits, apart from him burning to death, which was real fun. Oh my god, he's such a bad actor. So annoying. I actually cannot stand him. And like, Natalie Portman is a fantastic actress, but even she could not make the writing interesting. The pain of it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for wishing me well. May the 4th be with you. They do look like cinnamon rolls, don't they? Tasty and tempting and naturally dyed. Okay, which is my favorite Star Wars movie? Ooh. My first Star Wars movie I ever watched was Empire Strikes Back. So that one has a really special place in my heart. Although the final one was really satisfying, like really satisfying, I know it was like probably like, but I really liked it. And it's out today on Disney Plus, so we better get through the rest of the films, because I've got to watch that final film, especially that last scene where Ben kisses her and then he dies, and I'm like, perfect. Because he went back from all the crap he did. Mr. Bad Teenager Man. Ugh, so annoying. But anyway, I really like that bit. Love you so much. Thank you so much for watching and following me. I see people coming back every time. I love you all. It's just so much fun to chat with everybody. We're almost at exactly an hour. Ooh, that's satisfying. So I hope you come back if anyone wants to come. Thank you so much. And I'm really loving doing the live streams. No editing. They're very raw, but sure, that's grand. And I'll see you again next week. And don't forget to comment. And don't forget to join us on the Fastest Finger First quiz. I love you all. Bye. How do I leave? Oh, it's sideways. Hey, did anyone realize that I've got to do the sideways thing? I'm so smart. I got so smart.